Hello, beloveds. I'm back. It's Tanahmera at Craftworks. I'm here to give you a preview of my intuitive tarot deck. Okay, so I'm just going to hold the cards up to the screen very quickly. You can pause the video to take in the detail. So this is the Major Arcana. This deck is very different from other decks because it does not have a Minor Arcana. I've replaced the Minor Arcana with the 7 virtues, the 7 deadly sins, and just cards for people, events, situations, and emotions. Okay, so and again, the camera does not do these cards justice. Okay. Seriously, when they're in your hands, you'll see all the details. I made them 5x7 because I have poor eyesight and I can't see all the details on tiny cards, even with my best glasses. So this will be helpful to anyone like me with poor eyesight. But the reason I got out of, the reason I modernized the deck is to take your reading to the next level, to make you look at the images and force you to use your own intuition rather than relying on your memory and all the stuff that you've memorized about every card in the deck. This takes you right out of the realm of intellect and pushes you into the realm of intuition. That's why all the cards are all magical looking. And you know, they trigger strong intuitive impulses. They reconnect you with yourself. This is the Hanged Man card. I did leave the Roman numerals for the keyword on the cards. So the Roman numerals and the death, for example, or the name of the Major Arcana. And I've done it on the side again, so that it doesn't interfere with the actual image, right? So this one's the Devil. I'll put that a little closer because you see the man standing by the tree there. That's the Devil, because he's supposed to be very alluring and seductive and like that's his whole magnetism, is that he appears to be irresistible. And that guy actually does have horns, but you can't see them unless you have the actual deck in your hands. It's hard to see on camera. Let me just move that back. Okay. So we're coming close to the end of the Major Arcana. That's the Moon card, the Sun card, the Judgment card, and the World card. Okay, so here we go into the 7 virtues. So this is, the first one is compassion. This is courage. This is honor. This is integrity. This one is loyalty. This one is modesty. And finally, respect. Okay, now we're into the 7 deadly sins. There's 2 typos in this deck where the font wasn't adjusted properly. Okay, I've gone over it in other videos. It's already been corrected. So this deck is currently offline and it will be online soon. again, and it will be the corrected version. So don't worry about that. Just ignore this. This is envy, one of the 7 deadly sins. Gluttony. There's a man in the background who's been drained by this vampire. This is greed. So powerful. Look at this image. How it just consumes everyone. You know? Lust. So if you look at her dress, you'll see faces of men in the dress that she's already lured into temptation and kind of taken their souls. Well, you see one masculine in there, but yeah, there's one down here, but it's hard to make out, and that's due to the artwork itself. This is pride. I'll just put it up close so you can see the man in that chair. What's up? See that? Sloth. So I wanted to modernize this deck because the older decks, and I'm not knocking them, they're powerful. You know, they're still relevant today. But I wanted to take your reading to the next level because the way I learned, I explained, go look at the overview video, and I explained how I learned tarot from my grandmother. Okay, I was illiterate. I couldn't read at all. So I was just relying on the images I saw with whatever intuitive faculties I have. I just want to mention that now we're into the emotions and situations and people cards. So this one is abandonment. This one is aggression. So that can describe yourself or someone else. This is anguish. Anxiety. I did them in alphabetical order, so attachment. And this is referring to the unhealthy attachment, and if it comes in reverse, because there are uprights in a reverse on this deck, it's a landscape deck, though it's not to be read this way. It's meant to be read this way. If it comes in reverse, then, you know, that's a good thing. But if it comes upright, it's not good. It's unhealthy attachment. Balanced. Obviously, if it comes in reverse, imbalance. Okay, betrayed. Okay, if you get this in reverse, it means, you know, people are being loyal to you. Maybe someone you suspect was betraying you was actually loyal behind your back. There's also the loyalty card to denote that too. Competition. So if it comes upright, there's external competition. If it comes in reverse, no, there is not. You know, that's internal. It's in your head. Confused. Obviously, reverse means clarity, right? Controlling. That is about another person. Usually, if it's upright. If it comes this way, it's you being controlling. Cunning, same thing, another person. Or possibly you, it depends, you know, how the cards show up in a spread. Deceptive, that is a man who has very feminine features on the face, but it's masculine energy. Deceptive, masculine energy. And I did that so that it's in theme with the devil card that I chose. Defeated. Obviously upright. I mean reverse, that would be victorious, right? Defensive. So these cards are designed to get to the core emotions, right? Or what it is that Spirit's trying to warn you about another person or something in yourself. So this one, there's the other card with the typo. It says denial. And again, it's already been fixed, so you don't have to worry. Your cards will come perfect. The edits have already been done. Even the one that I thought didn't make the cut, when I clicked on the product, yes it did, from what I saw. So, de-selfing. Sorry, I didn't say this was depression. Powerful card, right? If it's reversed, then obviously someone is just coming out of a depression. De-selfing. You see how the woman's legs are turning into the tree that's trapped her? Destiny. So that would be a situation or a circumstance or an event. Someone headed toward their destiny. If it's reversed, they're not on the right path. Or you're not on the right path, depending on who the reading is for. Devoted. So this in reverse. This is a devoted, you know, obviously a grieving widow, right? And if it comes in reverse, then it's the opposite of devoted, which would be unfaithful, right? Disappointed. And we all, you know, your own intuition will tell you the exact word for when it comes in reverse. And it'll give you other words for interpreting the cards. Like the key here is the words that I've picked for these cards. This is disconnected, right? This is a person, possibly a split personalities, who's disconnected. Or, what's the other word for it? Disassociated with his or herself. Okay, and that's why you can't really distinguish the gender of the person. I chose this card specifically. And so if this is in reverse, then it means the opposite, right? Someone is integrating. Okay, this is distraction. So you see how she's holding her skirt and dressed all sexy, but she's coming at you with a weapon that she intends to use. This person is out to slay. Like pretending to be for you, but actually working against you. And if it comes in reverse, then, you know, the opposite is true. Divine Feminine person card. This is also a person card. Okay, because there are people in our lives whose purpose is to distract us from our path. So, Divine Feminine. In reverse, it's not your Divine Feminine. Okay, it's a Karmic. Same with the Divine Masculine card if it comes in reverse. Doubtful. The opposite of that is hopeful, right? I should have actually put words on the bottom, but I don't really want to box you in. So drained. And the opposite would be energized, because if you look at it this way, that's draining. Or that's energizing, and that way is draining. You see? So sometimes turning them upright can give you a little bit more hits on the card. This is empathy. This can apply to you or another person. It may be telling you someone you're asking about is an empath. And if it's in reverse, you or the other person is void of empathy for a certain situation or other person. Energy. So you just take these cards as they resonate in relation to the question being asked or the type of reading being done. Escapism. Okay, that can mean like codependency as well, drug use, whatever form of codependency is in play, you know. And then the opposite is true if you reverse it. So recovery from escapism, I would think. Estranged. Focused. I couldn't not have the head cut off in this particular picture because it's just the way that the image itself was. So otherwise I would have pulled it down so you could see his whole head. But the particular image I used of this was, that's the very top of it right there. This is focused. Can't remember. So this would be the opposite of focus. I would say not distracted, but like scattered energy as opposed to focused energy. And you see how the cards convey that even when they're flipped upside down. So frenemy. So that's a friend who's pretending to be, I mean an enemy that's pretending to be a friend, right? And if this card is in reverse, then the opposite is true. It's either a blatant enemy that you can totally tell it's an enemy, or it's a person you suspected was a friend enemy but is not. So it depends on your own feelings that you get about the situation. This is frustrated. See how she's waiting by the window, thinking to poison herself. Some dark thoughts. There are tears in her eyes. Grieving. If it's reversed, this person's just come out of a period of grieving. Guide. That represents another person. And if it comes in the upright, it's a good guidance. If it comes in reverse, it's poor guidance. You know, someone in your life is giving you poor guidance. Healer. And we all know healer reversed is abuser, right? That's just common sense applies with these cards, right? It brings the common sense back. Illusion. And then upright is seeing things for what they really are, right? I mean, not upright, but reversed. Innocent. So I chose a child for this picture, but it can mean a person of any age who you suspect of something, and this card will tell you if that person is innocent or not. The opposite is guilty when it's in reverse, okay? Intent. So if this card comes upright, it's either saying that you're dealing with a person who has a focused intent, or you need to focus your intent. You know? And this way, in case you think someone's got ulterior motives, which really doesn't apply to this particular card, there's another one that it would apply to more. They don't. You know, if it comes in reverse. They didn't. Their intention is not bad. This is not a negative card, upright or reversed. Intuitive. And if it's in reverse, it's wishful thinking. It's not intuition. There's a great big difference. Okay. Jumping to conclusions also, this one. The opposite of being intuitive is jumping to conclusions. False conclusions at that. Isolation. It looks like a creepy card, but it's not. It's like technically another hermit card. This card is a card of introspection, going into nature by yourself and just working things out. If it comes in reverse, there's a need for this. There's a need to isolate yourself and detach and go inward. Okay? Jealousy. That's a good one, right? It's not the same as envy. Some people confuse it, and the words have been used interchangeably, but they're not the same. So if there's someone that you thought was jealous of you, and this card shows up in reverse, then no, they're not. It's in your head. Journey. Another event card or situation. You know, this would denote long journeys, like overseas or something. And if it's in reverse, so this is like long distance travel, short distance travel. Okay. Loss. In reverse, it's someone who has overcome loss. Right here. The person like is just going through a loss. This is a person who's overcome loss and is starting to gain again. You know, gaining the lessons and whatever. Here's the card. Manipulation. Okay, that card comes up, right? And you suspect. You're asking about someone you suspect has ulterior motives, and this card shows up upright? Yes, they do. And even, it is a bad card, upright or reversed. Okay, so if it comes this way, it's obvious to you that this person is manipulative. If it comes this way, it's covert manipulation. Okay? Which means not obvious and causing you to be confused. This is the narcissist card, okay? Obsessed. So that can represent another person or yourself. If it's upright, that's like narcissism. Usually, in the upright position, it represents another person. In the reverse, it can represent yourself or like an internal obsession about something that you need to let go of. It's not always obsession about another person, but the brain can obsess over anything. Anything that you ruminate on would be considered an obsession. Okay, this is opposition. And if it comes this way, it's opposition that you're aware of. And it's a confirmation card. If it comes in reverse, it's sneaky opposition. Okay? It's, again, covert opposition, just like the manipulation card. Persecution. Okay, we all know what persecution is. It's where you're just mocked for your beliefs and tormented about them. If it's in reverse, you know, it might be that you've actually got you're not being persecuted by others. They're trying to wake you up because some of your beliefs are false and you need to let them go. If it comes up right, your beliefs are right and you're being persecuted for them. So hold on to your beliefs and let go of the opinions of the people who are persecuting. Okay, premonition. Upright, it's correct. You know, and in reverse, it's just prophet of doom. Like this person only sees doom and gloom and death and destruction. Okay, that's not prophecy. That is, that's delusion. Okay, so be careful if you get that card in a spread, because it could be you or someone around you just seeing the worst all the time. This is projection. And that card can be taken as it resonates. Right? So these are very powerful images. Protection. This denotes another person who's protecting you. Possibly guides on the other side. It can, because I chose the crow because this is unseen protection, right? So it's like guides, angels, ascended masters, ancestors, you know, spirit, God. Okay, if it's in reverse, then you know what I mean. You need to ask for some protection because you're straight up in harm's way. Okay, so this is regret. And if it's in reverse, then the opposite is true. The person is not in a state of regret over their actions or words or whatever. Resentment. That's a female reaper. But it, you know, men and women can be resentful, okay? So it doesn't matter. But I would say if it comes upright, because that's a female in the picture, that would be feminine resentment. And if it comes reversed, that would be masculine resentment. So this card is not denoting a good thing either way. Revenge. Eek. Okay, and upright is the opposite of revenge. It would be more like remorse. You know? Self-sabotage. If you get this card upright, it means what it says about yourself or the other person you're asking about. Take it as it resonates. If it comes in reverse, it's external opposition. Like you straight have people working against you. At least one person, possibly two, you know. Silenced. This is a person in this picture when it's upright. It's a person who is just biting their tongue. Not to be deceptive, even though you see a snake here, but because they're kind of not allowed to tell you. It's something you need to work out for yourself. Okay? If it does come in reverse, you see, it takes on the opposite meaning of that. Like if it's this way, it's divine silence. You see how he's sitting in a meditation pose holding the snake? Okay? So he's controlling his silence here. And it's not for the purpose of manipulation. It's for your own spiritual growth. If it's this way, then it's manipulative silence. Like passive-aggressive kind of shit. Where the snake is running him. Supportive. This denotes supportive people in your life. Or a supportive person. If it's in reverse, unsupportive, right? You're confiding in the wrong people. Transfiguration. That's what happens to us as we awaken. You can Google the word if you want. And then if it's in reverse, it's stunted. Like awakening is being stunted or obstructed by something, and you need to be made aware of that. Traumatized. Okay, you see how the cage is open here, but this woman's not going anywhere. She's just in such a state of like giving up and hopelessness that she's just staying stuck where she is due to trauma, because it's actually become comfortable now. And this means you need to get the hell out of a screwy situation, or the person you're reading does, because they are in harm's way and they can escape. At this point, when this card shows up, it's self-imprisonment, okay? It's not being inflicted by another person. If it's this way, then it is being inflicted by another person. Okay? Like the original trauma may have been inflicted by another person, but this person is keeping themselves imprisoned at this point. And the opposite is true here. Okay, twin flame. And if it comes in reverse, that's a no, it's not a twin flame. The other cards will tell you what's blocking the connection. Okay, uncertainty. Little girl. Well, not little girl, but young lady sitting on the staircase, kind of looking around in the darkness for some guidance because she can't seem to make up her own mind. Again, reverse would be clarity or certainty. So you've just come out of that stage of uncertainty and you've got your mind made up. Union. If it comes in reverse, not at this time. Or perhaps the person you think is your twin is not. You know? And finally, the last card, vulnerability. And then it's like open, honest communication. Okay, with God, yourself, just everyone. When it's upright, when it's reversed, it's the opposite. People feel that you're holding back, withholding information, or being deceptive, and, you know, they're not going to trust you because you're not coming off as authentic. So, okay, so that being said, I hope you love the deck, and I hope it serves you. There's 100 cards in this deck, and they are 5 by 7 inches. So as you can see, they're very big. Okay, so I gotta get this video to you, and I'd love to hear your feedback and what you think about the cards. Thanks, bye.